Yo,
Yo,
yo, no way.
yes, Ray.
I see you on TikTok, bro.
What? That
Holy
ass?
shit. Yeah. Yeah, I see you on TikTok.
You follow me?
Fuck. Fuck, what's your name? Yeah, I follow you, but I forgot your name.
You forgot my name?
Yeah, I just know how you look like. Because you
Damn,
just come up on my
if you
following.
forgot my name, I might need to ban. I might need to block you.
No, bro. No. No, no, no. Come on, come on. What was your name? What was your name? I remember your face. I remember your face.
What can I say? I'm pretty damn cute. it's it's
No.
it's the right way of thinking.
Oh, okay. But like you support Trump, right?
Of course I do.
Okay. Do you support everything he does?
Um, for everything he does. Hmm, like policy wise,
Yeah,
for off the top of my head, yes.
I do.
You don't?
No.
Let's talk about it.
All
Enlighten me.
right. All right. So, do you believe in some sort of a systemic racism,
So define it.
like like racial bias, like more like longer sentences for black people for just because they were black, because white people like they get shorter sentences for the same crime.
And so that automatically means it's
Well, because everything
racism.
else was well, yeah, because everything else was factored in except for race. So that could be the only thing. Do you want like some
Oh,
sources?
so wait, you said race wasn't factored in.
No, no, no. Look. It said everything was factored in before race.
Okay, so you said that they get longer sentences, right?
For the
For a
same
crime
crime.
they commit. So is the sentence more than what the crime is worth?
Uh, in some cases,
In some
but
cases.
but that's not the point
Well, no, it
because
is
the
the
point is
point because you're gonna try to make it's a bias and stuff. It doesn't matter if they commit a crime and they get a sentence that's between the minimum and the maximum. Then what's the issue?
because you get longer sentences
Who
and
cares? It's lawful.
but but like they should get like because a white person would get like 6 months and a black person would sometimes get up to like 3 years.
Do you know Hispanics
It
get
was
its sentence shorter than white people?
Hispanics.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
You know, I forgot what that person used. I think they might have used Department of Justice, which um that was given the whole longest sentences without the. It all depends if the. Ah man, I completely forgot the study. You know what? Link me what you're
Yeah.
gonna send me. I
All
I
right.
I have heard this argument before, and my argument is it doesn't matter. A crime is a crime.
Yeah, I actually have a whole fucking document right here.
I'm
Like
not clicking that document.
why not?
Man, that shit could be fucked up, but some shit.
It's a Google Doc.
Okay. So you know what? I pretty much know your point that black people get sentenced longer for the same crimes that white people get
Mhm.
committed. Even though sentenced longer, but it's still within the between the minimum and the maximum sentence of that crime.
Mm.
So you say systemic racism. There's no special treatment being done to anything.
No, but you also have to like. I was gonna get to the part where like black people are searched more than white people for the same thing, like for drugs. Like even if they don't know they have drugs, they still search black people more for drugs than white people at like a much higher rate.
Like an unlawful search.
Oh yeah, like with the dogs and shit, like they would factor in like they would bring in like canines or just search black people more than white people.
So is it an unlawful search or is it lawful?
Well, it's lawful.
So then who?
Like, as you could.
So then who cares?
What do you mean? Who cares?
If it's a lawful search, then so what?
Well, that just shows the racial bias, though,
How is it a bias if it's lawful?
because they tend to think that black people have drugs and white people don't.
Yeah, but in order to search someone, it needs to be there needs to be some kind of lawful reason to do it. It's not just random. It's not because this person is black, so I'm gonna search them. You honestly think that?
Well, yeah,
Really?
yeah,
You honestly
because
think that officers go and say, you know what, since this person is black, let me search him.
well, sometimes it's not maybe because of the skin color, but maybe because of culture. Because black people tend to be impoverished more,
Okay, so
which causes more
oh, and
crime.
poverty.
Yeah, poverty.
Okay. So let's talk about poverty. So
Good.
I'm sure you know that crimes are committed more in impoverished areas and areas
Hmm.
that have it's low income.
Hmm.
Okay, and we both also know that in many of these areas that a lot of them are minority. Uh, it's a majority of minority. That if that makes sense,
Hmm.
there are more minorities in impoverished communities than white people or people of color. Okay, and we also know that those places do have more police. Those places do have more police interactions, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so if those areas are mostly dominated by people of color, there are more crimes being committed. There are more police interactions being committed. Does that make sense that there is a disparity?
No, because you shouldn't judge it based off of just like they live here, therefore I'm gonna be harsher because they don't know how the person actually is.
If more crimes are being committed in an area and there are more police interactions, wouldn't it make
But
sense that and since those areas do have more black people, Hispanics,
hmm
people of color, wouldn't it make sense that there is a disparity?
well, yeah, but at the same time, you gotta like as a police officer, you have to go the same for everyone. Like you have to treat everyone the same.
Who says they don't?
Well, it clearly shows that like they're searched more than white people.
That disparity doesn't show a systemic racism. Like I'm gonna tell you this one more time. There are more police interactions in low income areas. In those low income areas, a lot of those places are made up of people of color.
Hmm.
Okay. There are more police interactions where there are more crimes being committed in an area. Okay. So wouldn't it make sense there would be a disparity between races?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now
you're right. You're right.
listen. I, I'm I'm sure that there's a few cops that's like, you know what, since this person's black, I'm gonna search him. Since this person's black, I'm gonna use my canine.
Yeah.
No, when you go, so these cops know like the neighborhoods, the streets, the cities that are known for let's say for drug activity.
Hmm.
All right. So a cop that is patrolling at let's say 10 o'clock at night, and they see a random parked car with someone, and in a neighborhood that's known for drug activity. So that cop's gonna be like, yeah, the cop has to already be like, hey, so how come you just parked in the street anywhere? Do you live around here, or do you are you waiting for someone?
Yeah.
They're making assumptions based off information they know about that area. So now, you know, that person a lot of times. So say for weed, weed is a strong smell. It looks like you smoke a little weed. It's okay.
Mm.
I smoke weed too. Weed is strong smelling. So if that person
I've
put
never smoked. I've never
okay,
smoked weed.
it stinks. So when people pull down a window, and cop smells it, you already know that's a reason for them to be a lawful search. Also, you do know that with canines, they don't need consent with the canines. So if they already know that those areas are known for drug activity, they can use the canines with any interaction they have with the person in the vehicle. If the canine alerts them, then that's a legal reason for officers to search that vehicle or that person.
That's true. Yeah,
That's
I never really thought about it like that. You kind of shine light on it because I just look at statistics, you know, because I trust statistics a lot, but I don't actually know the reasoning behind it.
well,
So
yeah, no, yeah. If I was looking at the same statistics, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? There is a disparity between race, but now it's a question of, is it because of racism or is it because of other data? We both know that, you know, in neighborhoods who has more income coming in, they're not going to have as
mhm.
much police activity because they don't need to. There's not as many crimes being committed, so there's no point of
Yeah,
using resources.
yeah, because that's what most people say that like, oh, it's because they're over policed or like I don't think. I mean, they're supposed to over police it
Well,
because
yeah,
it has
I don't know what that means. What does over police means? What does that mean?
like that they that they just go to black neighborhoods looking for crime, but I don't think that's the case.
No, they use the factors of what they know, the data. You know, a lot of the data comes from from the interactions in the past.
Oh, and also I found you the right wing of thinking.
Yeah,
That's you. Yeah.
I might post this on my Instagram.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have yeah, you have an Instagram right here. Okay.
Yeah. You being filmed right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so
All right.
I'm gonna post you. But and then and
Mm-hmm.
going back to the whole, you know, black people are sentenced longer and stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I you said the fact all the factors are weighed in. What factors? What are the
Like
factors?
the type of crime they did.
Is that the only factor to put in?
Well, well, the what's it called? The same things that like when you do a crime, right? Like let's say you rob a store.
Yeah.
Yeah, you rob a store. All right. The person points out a gun at the cash register. The the cashier gives them the money. All right, they run away. Let's say like it's the same like this. Let's say the both of them like let's say a white person did this, the exact same thing, and a black person did the exact same thing. The black person would get a longer sentence. They both took out a gun and pointed at the cash register at the cashier, and you know they ran away with the money. And then the black person would get a way much longer sentence than a white person for
So
the same exact thing.
so you do know how the court system works and trials and stuff, and you do know. I'm assuming that you know that the judge is the person that decides on the
Hmm.
sentence based off what's the minimum and what's the maximum for jail time or prison time or the fine amount. So you see, the study that you have, does it factor in where the crime is happening, what state, what county, what judges,
Oh,
what
because
juries,
in every
what
state it's
courts.
different, right?
Every
Because
state's
in every
different.
yeah.
Every case, well, not every case, but cases have different judges. They have different juries. They have different. There's many factors coming in.
Mm,
So I would say if you could, let's say if that study was to say there's one judge and there's one county looking at every case, you try to cross-reference the cases he has judged for. So cross-reference us in the same crimes. If it's the same crime, the same situation, the same anything, it's you see a pattern of that judge saying of sentencing black people longer than white
mhm.
people, then
That's
then
right.
then there might be a case. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, would
If
that
it's
be systemic
because every
racism?
person
That's not systemic racism.
well it's in the criminal justice system.
Yeah, but systemic racism would be that in the system and not law. If it's a law or policy that says for black people they need to be sentenced longer for the exact same crimes, then that would be systemic racism. If it's that one judge, then that's his own personal bias. I don't think that's a system bias. The minimum and the maximum sentence doesn't change no matter what race you are. It only changes between under what state, because state do have different punishments for the same crimes nationwide.
Mm.
So yeah, no, I that data, it won't indicate if it's systemic racism, if it's systemic racially bias, if it's not taking into factors all those things. If it's just taking in factors of just same crime. And listen, it might be the same crime, but there are
Hmm.
things that could be, you know, there's different scenarios to be put in. I don't like if the person assaulted a person or threatened them, or if they damaged anything. And a lot of the times, those minor charges would be dropped and only the major charge would be set. But then that person would get the longest sentence, factoring in all those things they did just in that one charge.
I mean, I gotta give it to you, bro. You kind of fucked me there. You gotta prove it. Yeah, you enlightened me
But
there
again,
on that.
your question originally was, do you support everything Trump does? Off the top of my head, I said
Mhm.
yes. You said no, and then you went to systemic racism.
No,
I don't.
I
I
I
don't know how
think
what that got to do with Trump, but if you do have something you disagree with about Trump, I
I
would love
think
to
that
hear it.
like I support Trump, right? Like I would vote for him over fucking Sleepy Joe, but uh, I think that Trump is like has said some racist things, but I don't think he's actually done anything racist.
Would you like to elaborate on the racist things he has said?
Yeah, he said that the well educated black is better than the well educated white, which by definition is racist.
Are you sure he said that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are you
Uh,
sure?
yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that was exact words to word.
it was in 1989.
He did say something. It was something about yes, something about a well-educated black person has I think has like a higher chance or being successful. It was something like that. I could be wrong too.
Yeah,
I only heard that quote a couple times.
yeah, that's a pretty unpopular like quote, like racist quote that he said, like because most people don't really they only want to tell like the stuff he said about minorities.
But here's the thing though. Here's the thing.
Hmm.
You know, you gotta, I guess from my eyes when he said that, it's you take into factor of how many successful people of color are, right? It's not
Hmm.
as many as white people. So, I don't know what he meant by it. And I can't speak for him. But if I was to say something like that, for me, it would be that yeah, if a black person becomes is well educated, becomes successful, you know, it would be better. I think that it's a good thing.
Well, how exactly? How would that be better?
How is it good that black people are getting well educated?
No, no, no. But like better than white people. Why is it better that a black person gets better than a white person?
Well, I believe that it has been shown that in the study, and I can't cite the study off the top of my head, so you can take my word for it. You can't. I think it's been shown that a black person who gets education beyond high school, a formal education, does have a higher chance of being successful than a white person being having a formal degree. Why is
Also,
that? I don't know. I can't give you the reason why.
yeah, but okay. So he was like basing it off of like statistics or like some form of
I
he
don't
was
know
like
about him.
truth to that.
For me though, I believe I could be wrong. That there is this study showing that a black person or statistic that a black person who gets formal education, um does the whole not have kids when they're young, only have kids when they're married and all that. It does
Mhm.
it does show a net positive for black people that's higher than for white people.
Okay. All right. That's 2-0. That's 2-0 for you.
It's not too. What does that mean? 2-0. What is that?
You're winning by two.
I'm not winning
You
anything.
you bashed both of my arguments. So.
I'm not. I'm not trying to do any. I got you, or we're trying to score points.
No, but
Can't think like that.
no, but okay, okay. Do you think Trump is an authoritarian?
um, I say he does lean towards that. Yes.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to like argue about that because no,
Um.
because like I support Trump, but I want to like point out his flaws to you because I know you're also a Trump supporter, and like I want to know like the if the flaws are like true or not, you know.
Okay. So explain your point of you asking me if I think he is. Why?
Like,
I'm assuming that you do think he is.
I think he has authoritarian traits, but I don't think he's full on.
How so? What
Mostly
traits?
toward mostly towards the media because he said that he was gonna like sue a certain news outlet for like fake news. The hold on, Trump. He's like Trump said like a bunch of authoritarian things like, that he was gonna do.
But if the news are lying about people, or let's say if the news is lying about Trump and are saying things that he didn't say and trying to slander him, yeah, he does
Mhm.
have the right to sue by law.
Well, the the right to sue, but you also gotta like think of the freedom of the press.
That is freedom of the press, but no, freedom of the press doesn't include lying and slandering people. Freedom of the press doesn't protect that. You do know that, right?
Wait, it doesn't? I thought you could like report on anything you wanted, like
You can,
even if
but if you lie about people and slander their name, like do you know who the person Nick Sandman is?
Nick Sandman.
Yeah.
No.
So he was I forgot, I think he might be 17. He was a kid that got a video taken of him. He was wearing a Trump hat, and there was a Native American person that went up to his face and started playing music and stuff. And CNN was painting him as him being the bad guy, and that he was trying to start shit and instigate these people. He sued them, and he won because everything they said was a lie. They defamed him. They slandered his name. Trump could do the same thing, and that's by law. Being an for that point to be in an I can't even say
Authoritarian?
authoritarian.
Yeah.
You need to try to pass some kind of bill or executive order or some kind of law that will quell freedom of the press.
Okay. I don't know. I just seemed like a little authoritarian to me because you said he wanted to like take down like the like a news or like sue them, you know.
If if
But
if, if a news
I see what you mean.
if the news lied about your name and if they were slandering you, wouldn't you want to sue them?
If it did like pretty good damage to me, yeah.
Do you?
Which it is for Trump because everyone hates like almost everyone hates Trump because of the news.
I don't think almost everyone hates them. I mean,
Well,
maybe.
like a lot that's like the main reason why people hate him.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm sure you know people who used the same thing of he's a homophobe, he's a transphobe, he's a sexist, he's a racist, he's all this stuff.
I've I've heard of that the homophobe. I want to get to that. Um, because like I heard like people on here like when I tell them I support Trump, they're like, "Oh, he's homophobic," you know, this and that, and then they tell me like all this stuff about like that he made it so like he could how like adoption centers can refuse like gay people like the child to adopt. Like I haven't really searched that up. Okay, do you know about that? Like,
I do. So
okay.
so what happened was he didn't take. So a lot of people say he's trying to take away LGBT rights, and we'll use that
Mhm.
argument. That's not taking away rights to an LGBT person. That's given the freedom of religion right to private religious based adoption agencies
Also, it only goes towards religious adoption agencies.
that are private.
Oh, okay. So it's not like any adoption center.
No, and you know what? I'm still sure that there are religious based adoption censors that would be fine with adopting the kids out to gay couples.
Oh yeah, totally. Okay. And then they also showed me this clip where he said that he doesn't like in it like they showed him like two interviews where he said that he doesn't support gay marriage.
That was in 2011 in CNN when he said he is for traditional marriage. It was an interview. I forgot with what person. I mean, he was asked, what he thinks about it, and he said he was for traditional marriage. But that was in 2011. He did change his stance around, I believe it was 2015 or 2016. It was before he got into office where he changed his stance saying, he's fine with it. He's not gonna try to do anything to try to,
Yeah,
to change that legally. And you know what? I mean, like Barack Obama, I'm sure you heard this, has also said
yeah,
he's not for gay marriage in
yeah.
2008
That
when he was in office.
it's between a man and a
Yeah,
woman.
and you know what? I don't think Barack Obama's a homophobe.
Me neither.
That's I listen that view is it's most likely religious value.
Yeah, because isn't Trump like a Christian?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
he says I think he has said he is a Christian.
yeah,
Um, and to you and for someone to support that is in direct violation of the Bible. You're not supposed to support sins. The sin
yeah.
is homosexuality. But you know
Okay.
what? You could be against gay marriage and be fine with gay people. You could love gay people. You could be fine with them.
Yeah,
It's just like it's the same thing as someone's just telling me, I don't support your life choice, but I still love you. You're still awesome.
yeah,
I'm cool with that. I'm like, that's awesome.
yeah. As long as you're not like hurting them,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
because. Yeah. Okay. What was this is other thing I was gonna. There's another instance of Trump being racist that I've yet to debunk. It's about him. There's this video, like this really old video of him, like he had let in, he had let in like a Native American because he said that he didn't look Native American or whatever. And then like there's like a whole like court video about it. And then like the judge was getting mad about him. Do you know about that?
Was it about I know he has made a comment about people I think running casinos claiming to be Native
Yeah,
American, and he was like, "Well, you don't look Native American to me."
yeah, that exactly.
So how's that racist?
Because that's like in the definition of racism. You're judging someone based off of what they look like what ethnicity they are.
Well, what do I look like to you?
I mean, you could be Arab or Mexican or Hispanic.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So right, you just judged me based off how I looked.
Well, but
Are you racist?
no, because I didn't refuse you anything.
He didn't infuse anything either. He just made a
He
statement.
did.
He just made a statement that you don't look Native American to me.
You were like he refused to you refused some casino because they didn't look Native American. So he's cutting him off from something just because they don't look a certain way.
Who's Casino?
The I actually don't know like
Yeah, no, honestly,
the whole
I don't
thing,
know,
but
right? I don't know much about this. Refusing someone to be in a casino or getting profits. Is it his casino? I don't even think he owns a casino. I could be wrong. Maybe he does. I don't know what the fuck Trump owns these
he
days.
did, yeah, he did. He used to his dad owned a casino.
Yeah, I, you know what? Since I don't know enough about it, about that, I'm not gonna make a comment. So those comments I made earlier
I
about
mean, I don't know. I forgot mostly about it because it was like a few days ago that someone like brought that to me,
and how long ago was that?
like a week.
No. I mean when he said that.
Oh, fucking like 1980.
Cool. Okay, I don't give a fuck at that point. It's 2020. It's okay. Goddamn. It's been fucking 40 years. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Also, all right. The last thing,
Okay.
the the kids in cages thing. So someone told me that keeps kids in cages even though he passed the bill. Do you think that's true? Because he said that like there's pictures of them in wrapped in foil, which is inhumane. You know that they were taken recently.
Okay. So all the pictures I seen of kids in cages
Hmm.
is back under the Obama administration age.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any pictures of kids in cages. That was recent while Trump was in office.
yeah,
Number one.
it's fine.
Number two. Um, what
Mhm.
does that got to do with even if it was like Trump under Trump's thing? What does that got to do with Trump?
Because he passed the. But what do you mean? What does that have to do with
No,
Trump?
okay. So people like to make the comment that there are kids in cages
Hmm.
while they're trying to use it to be against Trump. My thing is, what does that got to do with anything with Trump? He didn't put the kids in cages himself.
He didn't get rid of the cages.
So
He's still keeping them in the like those conditions.
so here's my argument with that. Okay, we do have an illegal crossing of immigrants in the southern
Hmm.
border. That is an issue. There is an issue where you have a lot of politicians trying to you know have it be okay. You have a lot of politicians that don't give them the funding for them to increase technology and surveillance. Um, you know, uh, big one was a budget for a wall. They don't give them budget to make more checkpoints. They don't give them the budget to keep maintaining the facilities. All that costs money, and since all that's a government agency, they get the money from the federal government. So when you have all those things, you have politicians trying to have it be okay to illegally cross. What these people are doing, they are just trying to follow the law, like like ICE. All they're
Yeah,
doing is just following the law. So for one thing is, if you are crossing the border illegally, that is a crime. You know that. If you're
yeah.
crossing the border illegally with a child, you would get separated from the child. It's
Yeah, to check for like trafficking, right?
it's not just that, but I'm assuming you live with your parents, all right? And if your parents
Yeah.
got arrested,
Hmm.
you get separated from them.
Sure.
So it ain't nothing different down there. So so I don't want to say children in cages, but I will say those detainment centers do get overfilled. What needs to happen is there needs to be a nice big strong wall. There needs to be more surveillance going on, and it needs to be stopped before they commit the crime. Right? You can stop border
But
crossing illegally.
but illegal immigrants they actually commit like they don't commit